This conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the March Healthy Happens Here webinar series. We'll be getting started for today. And so thank you again for joining us. And so this webinar is a series of virtual webinars that cover a variety of health topics, including nutrition, physical activity, mental health, tobacco cessation, and chronic disease self-management. And my name is Candace Schottenlohr, and I'm a health educator here with the community engagement team with the Florida Department of Health in Miami-Dade County. And so just a few housekeeping items before we begin. Please know that you have the capability to have your camera on or off during this webinar, and you also have the ability to mute and unmute your microphone. So please remember while you're not speaking to keep it muted just to reduce any background noise or echo. And again, if you have any questions throughout today's webinar, you can add them in the chat box as we'll address those during our Q&A with the questions that we also received from the registration. And I'll also share with you that that chat box you can find on the right side of your screen, and we'll make sure to address those. So again, thank you for joining us today. Today's event is for National Nutrition Month. And so in March, this year for National Nutrition Month, the theme is Celebrate a World of Flavors. And as part of the celebration, My Plate is inviting you to share your cultural plates and meals. What foods, flavors, and recipes are you and your friends or your family known for? And so by using the hashtag Celebrate My Plate to show us your plates on social media, and let's celebrate a world of flavors together. And so this month's annual campaign was also created by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. And during the month of March, everyone is invited to learn about making informed healthy choices and developing healthful eating and physical activity habits. And this is why we're all here today. And so today you will learn from Miss Anna Perez, who is a WIC licensed dietitian and nutritionist, and WIC stands for the Women, Infants, and Children program. And she'll share about this program today, along with nutrition tips for pregnant and postpartum women, physical activity, and healthy snacking for the family. And so now I'll turn it over to Miss Anna Perez to get us started for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Candice. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ana Perez. I'm nutritionist dietitian at the WIC office. I'm one of the supervisors in one of our clinics here in Miami-Dade. For today, as Candice gave us a very nice introduction, we're going to speak about our program, the WIC program, the services that we provide for the community, and also some good information about how to take care of postpartum moms, children, with a few information, very consistent. I'm going to turn on my camera to turn off my camera since I'm going to I'm not going to be able to look at the screen most of the time, so I'm going to turn off my camera right now and we'll start the presentation. Okay. Okay. Sometimes raise a family can be challenging. Can we go for the next slide, please? Okay, start with a family. Raise a healthy family can be challenging, but how this is when the WIC office here at Miami-Dade enter to help and guide you for this commitment. Next slide, please. Okay. That video shows briefly how we can intervene in all of these questions that we can have when raising a family, when having kids, that sometimes we don't know where to start. We have many doubts about how we're raising them, how to feed them, if we're if the way that we're doing is the correct way, or at least is this a healthy way. So that's weak. That's why weak it's in the middle, or it's intervening in the families. As a good society, we're here to support anything you can have, any questions you can have. We provide many services. From the very beginning, we give nutrition education for moms during the pregnancy and postpartum, and as well children's up to 5 years. We also have support, breastfeeding support, and we can give also referrals for another community services, dental services, vaccinations, sometimes daycare and school for our kids. So the people, our participants in the week office can have a variety of services that will impact very positively in their lives. And we're here to help them to reach that. Can we go to the next slide, please? Oh, this is the, okay. Nutrition tips for pregnant postpartum. Okay, the healthy happens. It should happen in every time of the life, in every stage of the life. Basically, we provide nutrition services for women and children and infants, as the name explain it. Few basic tips for pregnant moms are eating a balanced diet, which may include at least one food of one of the major food groups. Be aware of the choices that we do when we buy our food. There should be the fresh and should be natural most of the time, being avoid of the processed and high sodium foods. Keep a good track of the weight you gain throughout the pregnancy. That will determine by the dietitian or the doctor. It will depend mostly on the pre-pregnancy weight that you have, but that will be very, very helpful because that will reduce risks during the pregnancy, as such gestational diabetes, high blood pressure, reduces maternal risk in the delivery and for the babies as well. It's important. Take prenatals supplements that we prescribe with the healthcare provider first, but should be taken like in a regular basis, and avoid every harmful substances, including alcohol, tobacco, and others. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, this is a view of how our a healthy plate should look. I really like this one because it's very visual. It's super easy to follow when we try to fill our plate with good things and the right amount. We can go and check this infogram here. And this is basically for healthy moms. So it's for pregnant moms and for postpartum moms. If you follow this number of servings, you will be covering your requirements for all the nutrients you may need. So for example, you can choose dairy, up to 3 cups daily, and it should be like not only milk, but it can be yogurt and cheese and other dairies.
Mira, y tengo uno para ti, porque te iba a
Give me
preguntar how tú
just a
quieres
second. Let me
buenísimo.
go ahead and mute the
Tú
participant.
también.
Porque el otro día me dijo, oh, thank you, and this is not that grande.
Tú nunca has tenido?
No.
Okay, let me.
Okay, Anna, there you go.
Okay, so if you follow this, it's like a guideline, very easy to use. You can choose the number of portions that it's highlighted here for each of the food groups, you will be filling the requirements of each nutrient that you may need. This month of March, we're celebrating the Award of Favors, and mainly it's the way that we can incorporate different ways and different flavors, different spices, different ways to prepare our meals that could incorporate in healthy meals for our family. So, for example, beans, that it's a very common ingredient in many cultures. The way that it's prepared in the Middle East will be totally different to prepare it in South America, for example. And with that, we can add, if we try something different, another flavor, we can learn from the culture. We can be adding nutrients, different substances that could be good for our health, that we were learning something new. Also, for example, if we choose, we all here in US maybe a little afraid of use the fats, but not all the fats are bad. If we incorporate like olives or nuts in the way that the Middle East and Mediterranean people uses, we can have all the benefits of the unsaturated food oils that could have for our health. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, now we're gonna go to another important topic to be healthy, and this physical activity. Physical activity is very important in every step of the life. The requirement for adults will be at least 2.5 hours of activity. That type of activity that makes your heart beating race, at least 30 minutes, 5 times a week. Um, Adults must do muscle strength activities at least 2 times a day. It's very important to keep a good amount of muscle. The children, the physical activity requires at least 1 hour daily. It will help them to grow. It will help them to develop neuronal connections and to get tired, basically, to release energy. And children under 6 years, they should be active for 3 hours a day or more. In infants, you can have them in a safe place and allow them to roll, to crawl, but movement in every step of their life is really, really important. Next slide, please. Doing physical activity shouldn't be like something that you have to plan or something that you have to schedule in your daily life. It could be something very, and you can incorporate daily, like going for a run, going to the park with your kids, trying to, if you need to do some errands, you can go walking if it's nearby. If you need to buy something, you can walk your dog for longer. That's something that every type of movement that you do counts. So it could be something fun. You can go to running through a sprinkle or going to a pool or to the beach and try to swim or try to walk around. Next slide, please. Okay. Candice, can we move to the next slide, please? No, the one before.
This one?
No, the other one, the next one. Oh, no, yes, I'm sorry. It's look the same. That one. Okay, the physical activity could include also stretching, climbing, going around. Okay. Okay, let's move to the next topic, please. Okay, healthy snacks. Okay, the snacks, can we move to the next slide? Okay, the snacks are very important. The snacks help us to fill any gap in the nutrition requirements or calorie requirements during the day. It's a good option to provide high quality nutrients to our children, specifically to those that doesn't like to eat much. And if they're healthy snacks, we can provide them with the nutrition that they will need and the energy they will need throughout the day. Also, are very helpful because let if you have a snack in between your meal, you're not going to be super hungry for the next meal, and will keep steady your energy throughout the day, and support growing and support alertness to be prepared during for the daily activities that we can have. I'm going to give you some snack tips so you know which could be healthy or could be a good combination to fulfill the requirements with a nice and easy to prepare snack. Next slide, please. Okay, as I mentioned before, a good snack is the one that can provide nutrients and calories that we can use to fulfill the requirements that a person could need. Obviously, it will depend if it's an adult or if it's a child or depends also of the level of physical activity. But the as a general rule, the snacks should be low in sugar, and I mean in calories, and added sugar should be natural, fresh, preferably not processed or high in sodium or saturated fat. So a good option could be um, to have 2 snacks, the most 3 during the day, depending of how long is your working or performing time in the day, during the day. And basically must have like high quality ingredients. Next slide, please. Okay. For young children, they can have 2 snacks per day. It shouldn't be like they shouldn't look like a whole meal. It should be like in a smaller size. And for adults and older children could have 1 or 2, depending on their needs. And also the size shouldn't be like it shouldn't look like a whole meal. Next slide, please. Okay. For pregnant women, it's very helpful, like as a reminder to have every time a snack every time they're need to drink water, because during the pregnancy the needs of fluids increase and some mothers forgot about it. So grab a snack or having on hand when they're hungry can be also be a good reminder to drink their water. Next slide, please. Okay, we have to be careful with some of the type of snacks that we allow for our children. The peanut butter, the jelly, some type of spread could be cause of choking. So the peanut butter or any nut butter should be given like spread or thin or blended into food. That way they can beneficiate from this type of good foods, good fat that is good for their growing, but we reduce the risk of choking. Also in children, in infants after 6 months, when we start providing the baby food, we have to be careful with the sizes and the shapes of the food, the finger food that we provide to them, because of the same reason that could cause choking. Next slide, please. Okay, so for children under 4, we have to be careful with hard pieces, hard candies, the size of the grapes, for example, dried fruits. It should be cut in small pieces that can be easily swallowed. Some of them haven't developed very well the chewing or the reflex of to prevent choking. So it's good to have them cut into small pieces. Next slide. Okay, this is like a cheat sheet of how healthy snack could be. If you choose at least 2 of these 3 groups of foods that we have here, you are doing or preparing or completing a nice and good snack. For example, if you grab a slice of whole grain bread and you spread it with almond butter, and you put some slices of bananas, it's super delicious, and you're completing 3 of them. You can also have like a parfait using Greek yogurt and some fruits mixed. But if you follow this infogram here, you will be having a healthy snack. Obviously, the serving size will depend, depending of course, is if it's a children or an adult. Next slide. Okay, so these are some examples of the infogram, the previous infogram, and the amount of what a portion could be, a serving size. So half of a whole grain wheat of corn tortilla, and if you can mix it with I don't know, salsa, tomato salsa, and you can choose eggs, and you can have also refried beans, homemade refried beans with the tortilla. You can have granola, you can have oatmeal, and blended. You can make a smoothie, and you can add some whole grain cereal, for example, or granola, or the oats. You can do a really nice and complete snack. The parfait that I mentioned before, you can use Greek yogurt, some nuts, and also fruits. You can use also the protein. You can choose a hummus, for example, with veggies and pita chips, and you can have a nice and healthy snack for your family and for you as well. Okay, next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, here's the visual. You can have these mixing a whole grain food and a protein food. And here is the blended smoothie blended with fruit and yogurt, and the tortilla with mixed vegetables and hummus. Next slide. Okay. Who is available or who's eligible to receive WIC? In WIC, we have different services that I encourage everybody who can feel that it's eligible to apply, because it's a really, really, really good program that serves with very much affection to the community that may need us. Okay, who's eligible? Pregnant woman from the day 0, woman who were breastfeeding an infant up to their first birthday, postpartum woman up to 6 months after or the end of the pregnancy, sometimes after 1 year, infant and children up to their 5th birthday. Next slide. Okay, the services that we offer can help the whole family. We impact the whole family because we intervene and how the family and how the dynamics could be regarding the nutrition of the mom, regarding the nutrition of the children. We provide personalized nutrition counseling to moms, pregnant moms, to postpartum moms and their infants. We have a whole breastfeeding support team with peer counselors, lactation consultants. We have a phone number, a helpline. We have group moms. We also provide ways to teach them how to cook healthy and balanced meals, and we give them benefits to buy healthy meals as well. We can give them healthcare referrals, and we are a whole team to support them. If you need to apply, or if you know someone that could be one of our participants, you just have to call the 706. It's 786-336 1300 to schedule an appointment. We have 15 different locations throughout Miami-Dade County. We're here to help you. As a good society, we're here to support everyone. And well, that's it. Let's give some time for Q&A questions. You can follow us as well in our social media at Miami-Dade Week.
Thank you so much, Anna, for that insightful presentation and sharing those tips on healthy eating for the whole family. And so right now, I do want to invite everybody, if you have any questions from this presentation, you can go ahead and add them in the chat box, and I'll share that. We'll go through some of the questions that we did receive from registration. And so I did see that there was one question in the chat, and so we will definitely answer that one. And so Anna, that first question talks about what food should pregnant women avoid in general?
Thank you, Candice. Well, in general, for me, as a general rule, we should all avoid or limit at least processed and ultra-processed food, including high sodium content food, and aim for natural, fresh food. All kind of natural food, it's the way to go. And definitely, if the mom is overweight, definitely should be away of high added sugar beverages, fried food, fast food, and watch for their size of their portions. But for me, again, as a general rule, the processed food should be limited for all the people.
Thank you so much, Anna, for those tips. And so now we'll go into some questions that we received related to physical activity. And so the first one that was shared was, for beginners, how should they incorporate physical activity into their everyday life?
Well, that's so easy. As I mentioned, the physical activity shouldn't be like something, an extra thing that you have to do or put in your schedule. It would be great if you can include it, but you can make some changes as easy as park farther as possible. So you encourage you to walk a little bit more. You can take the stairs instead of the elevator. Every movement counts, believe me. You can walk your dog for longer. You can go with your kids to the park. You can crawl with your kids if you are able to. While your kids are, I don't know, jumping rope, you can do the same. It's super. I mean, it's just it's need to be creative. That's it. But every movement, every single movement, doesn't need to be like very um, um, fancy, or you don't have to go to a gym and pay memberships. Every single move that counts.
Thank you. And so this also leads into that idea of physical activity, putting that into your schedule. Does it make a difference what time you do your physical activity? Is it better in the mornings or the evenings?
Well, according to the expert, the substances that the body may generate because of the exercise may vary, but some of the benefits of the exercise is that it can elevate the energy levels and your alertness. So for most people, it's better to do it in the morning than in the afternoon. Sometimes um, it's difficult to conceive a good sleep right after doing exercise because of that. So if you ask me, if you don't have any time in the morning, you can do it at any time. But if you ask me, because of this benefit, I would say that in the morning.
Thank you so much. And so our next question leads into losing weight. And so they asked, can you share an example of how many times a person should eat if they're trying to lose weight? And then this has a second part also for a postpartum mom. What are some tips to losing the belly fat and eating healthy?
Okay, the frequency of how many times a person should eat may vary from person to person, but generally when you're trying to lose weight, you may try to avoid to feel very hungry. So for me, every time you start like feeling like you will be hungry, you should go and grab something. But for some other people may be different. Some people may just need 3 meals a day. Some others are fine having 5 meals a day. But the good thing is that every time you go to eat something, it's to think and the quality of that food that you're going to pick. If you select, for example, food high in fiber and in nutrients like vegetables, basically you can have more amount that if you choose for something higher in calories. And for the second part, okay, the first tip that I will give for a postpartum mom, if it's possible, is choose to breastfeed. Only for breastfeeding, a mother can spend up to 500 calories a day just to support the breastfeeding metabolic process. So second, if it's allowed by the doctor, she can start doing some physical activity, starting and walking, and go and increasing the intensity and the frequency as long as she feels comfortable with, and also try to set a schedule for her own meals. Postpartum moms tend to be very busy. Sometimes they don't give her time because of all things that they have to carry with the baby. Some of them has more than one child and working and all the things that the last thing that they think about is their own meals. So if you try to attach to a schedule and pick good and healthy food, it's a very good tip trying to lose weight and fat after a pregnancy.
Thank you, Anna, for sharing that. It's so important to not miss those important meals. And so the next question that we received was, can you share the importance of not only doing cardio exercises, but also mixing in strength training workouts?
Sure. Physical activity brings great benefits overall, Cardio exercise will help us with cardiorespiratory resistance, can mobilize fat and everything, but strengthen the muscle is very important as well. When you strengthen your muscles, you will prevent injuries, you will prevent falls, you will feel more energized, will be more strength to perform your daily life. And I'm going to give you an extra tip. The more muscles you have, the more energy your body will spend. That means that you either can burn more more fat, because you're burning more calories, and or you're allowed to eat more.
Thank you. And so I know that we did talk about a little bit of preparing foods before, and also healthier food options. And somebody had a question if you had any recommendations for healthier fast food options when on the go.
Yes, definitely. All the options that offers healthy sizes, know the biggest sizes that we're used to see around the fast food places, or those that include fresh ingredients that are made on site, um, that has less pre-cooked food and less fried and less ultra processed and less sugar will be the better option. So those places that, for example, smoothie places, wrap places, that includes mostly fresh and raw foods are a better option. And I will consider that like as fast food.
Thank you so much for those helpful
Welcome.
options when on the go. And so the next question that we had received was, what should I eat after a workout or before a workout?
Okay. Before the workout, it's important to have at least a light meal if you haven't eaten in the last 2 hours, because it's important for your body to have quick energy to start up the exercise. I would say like something with a fruit and protein could be good, because the fruit provides the carbohydrates that are rapidly available for your body, but the protein or the fat, let's say, for example, half banana with peanut butter will keep steady the use of that energy as well. So you will have energy enough to perform the exercise, but you don't feel uncomfortable like you're super full. And after the and after doing the exercise, if you're not uh, soon enough from one of your main meals, you can have another snack that could include as well like a carbohydrate for sure and a protein meal. And if you can support it with something like high in vitamins and nutrients as a fruit, it will be a good option. If not, your regular main meal, and lots of water.
Definitely important, the hydration part. So now the next question, and so I think a lot of people tend to ask this, when winding down for the day, what time should I stop eating at night?
Okay, it will depend, but basically, just a general recommendation for many reasons, but basically to allow the digestive system to rest is 2 hours before going to sleep. So you have enough time for the digestion to complete, but you don't feel hungry or a lot of hungry. If you feel hungry, that it's bothering you, you should have like a little snack. Um, before going to bed, but at least 2 hours before going to bed. It's the recommendation.
Thank you so much for that, Anna. And I did see a question in the chat box from Sandra asking, is there any flyer that we can use to refer families to WIC?
Sure, sure. I think we can provide you with some, Carla. There's a link or something that um, we can share with them. Absolutely. You can go through to this website, to our website, and also follow us in the Miami-Dade week. But if you want to email me, I will send you some links to emails, and Carla maybe can help us more with this.
Thank you so much, Anna. And we can definitely, if there's any links that we would like to share from today's presentation, we'll also send that with the follow-up evaluation. So we'll definitely make sure to link you and that you can share the WIC program with different clients and participants that you know may benefit from this program. And so I'll go ahead, Anna, and just leave it to one more question that we had received from the participants. And this one's really related to chronic disease and hypertension. And, you know, they also mentioned cholesterol and how to lower that. So if you could just kind of share with us maybe some last best tips to really handle these chronic disease issues.
Okay, as any other medical condition like having high cholesterol or high blood levels, it needs to be checked out by a physician. Again, physical activity will help very much with that. Help increase body substances that can help to relax the veins and also increase the blood flow throughout the body, and that will help to use to release that and help the blood flow to run easily. As per the dietetic side, the food sources that contains less sodium and more potassium, calcium, and magnesium, like vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains that have fiber, will help with all of that. Healthy foods, natural, fresh foods are the option to go. Be aware of excess of sodium, excess of sugar, excess of fat, and move yourself.
Thank you so much, Anna, for taking the time and answering everybody's questions for today. I didn't see anything else in the chat box, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up this webinar for today. And I just wanted to share with you all just a few upcoming events and some updates. And so just as a reminder, this webinar today was in partnership with the WIC program and the Office of Community Health and Planning. And so each month we do try to host webinar covering different topics on nutrition, mental health, tobacco cessation, and chronic disease self-management. And I did want to go ahead and share with you all another opportunity that we're inviting partners to work with us through our free program of Faithful Families Thriving Communities. And this is a 9-lesson curriculum program that provides individuals, families, and the community with the skills to be able to eat more meals at home, move more in their everyday routine, as well as help their communities lead healthier lives. And so we're looking to work with faith-based organizations to really help be those health advocates, particularly in communities affected by different health disparities or lacking access to crucial resources. And so this is why we're seeking partnerships and looking to partner with you on this initiative. And so for more information, I have provided Melissa Mayton's contact here. And so if you have any questions or know of any faith-based groups that would be interested, definitely please contact us. And then lastly, I did want to go ahead and share tomorrow, we do have another Facebook Live event, part of our Eat Fresh series, and this is episode 6. And the theme is going to be Shop, Get the Best for Less, and we'll be hosting this at 12 p.m. And we go ahead and invite you to join us. And basically, we'll be doing a live cooking demonstration. You'll learn about nutrition, healthy eating, and healthy lifestyles. And we'll have Miss Tamia Medina and Miss Natushka Murray going ahead and sharing this with us. And so for April, also stay tuned for another webinar coming up. It is National Minority Health Month. And so we're looking to have a presentation focused on that. And finally, finally, please make sure to visit healthymiamidade.org to receive the latest updates from the consortium, as well as any other health educational information. And I'll also be sharing in the chat box the evaluation for today. And we just ask you to please take a moment to complete that, as we'll use your feedback in future development of other webinars. So again, we thank you so much, and thank you, Anna and the WIC team, for presenting today for National Nutrition Month. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Candice. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you everybody for sharing your time with me this afternoon.
Thank you so much, everybody. And I've just went ahead and added the evaluation in the chat, and we'll be sending it through email with the flyers. Thank you so much.